Part 1. The captain's voice came over the intercom at exactly 1:42 a.m. This is the captain speaking. Abandon ship. For a moment, no one moved. People don't panic right away. Not on a modern cruise liner. We are trained to trust systems, protocols, calm voices with authority behind them. But then he repeated it. Abandon ship. This is not a drill. That's when the screaming started. I was on deck 7, halfway down a corridor that smelled faintly of salt and oil. The floor vibrated beneath my feet, not violently, just enough to let you know something was wrong deep inside the ship. A woman ran past me barefoot, clutching a life jacket. A man shouted for his children. Somewhere, glass shattered. I didn't move. Not because I was brave, but because I'd been here before. I was an engineer before I became a passenger. I knew the difference between danger and final danger. And this felt premature. The intercom crackled again. All passengers proceed to lifeboat stations immediately. Still no explanation. That bothered me. I looked through a nearby window. The ocean was calm. Too calm. No storm. No fire. No visible damage. 30 minutes later, most of the lifeboats were gone. I stayed behind with a handful of others, crew members, a few confused passengers, and one man who claimed the captain had personally told him not to leave. That's ridiculous, someone snapped. Is it? The man replied. Then why hasn't the ship sunk? The lights flickered. Then something shuddered below us. Not an impact, not an explosion. More like a breath. A deep, metallic groan echoed through the hull. The intercom clicked on one last time. The captain's voice was different now. Lower. Strained. If you're still on board, he said quietly, you were never meant to hear this. I felt the ship tilt, not downward, but sideways, like it was turning toward something. That's when I realized the truth. The captain hadn't ordered us to abandon ship to save us. He ordered it to empty the ship, and whatever was coming next needed room. End of Part 1. Part 2. The people who stayed behind looked at one another in silence. There were 9 of us. 2 crew members. 3 passengers who missed the lifeboats. 1 elderly woman who refused to leave without her husband. The strange man who said the captain warned him. And me. The ship tilted again. Slow, deliberate. Not the chaos of a sinking vessel, but the careful movement of something adjusting its position. We should go down, one of the crew members said quietly. Engineering deck. No, the man replied instantly. That's where it started. Everyone turned toward him. What started? I asked. He hesitated, then said, the sound. As if summoned by the word, it came again. A low vibration. Deep. Rhythmic. Like a heartbeat traveling through steel. We followed the emergency lights down the stairwell. Every step felt wrong. Like we were walking into a place the ship didn't want us to see. The lower decks were colder. The air thicker. Condensation coated the walls, even though there was no leak. No water breach reported. The crewman muttered, confused. We reached the engineering corridor and froze. The metal walls were dented inward. Not crushed. Pressed. As if something massive had leaned against them. From the other side. That's impossible, someone whispered. The heartbeat sound grew louder here. Thump. 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 Then we saw it. A maintenance door, ripped open, edges bent outward. Beyond it was darkness, and a smell I will never forget. Warm, salty, organic, like the inside of a body. The elderly woman gasped. "That's not the ocean." The strange man stepped forward, his voice shaking. "They found something during routine sonar testing. Something attached itself underneath the ship." "An animal?" someone asked. He shook his head slowly. "It's not attacking," he said. "It's riding." The lights flickered violently. Then the captain's voice came through the intercom. Again, barely holding together. "We couldn't outrun it," he said. "We couldn't remove it." A pause. A broken breath. "So we did the only thing left." The floor trembled hard this time. From the darkness beyond the torn door, something moved. Not fast, not slow, aware. And whatever it was, it knew the ship was no longer empty. Part 3. The first thing we saw was not its body. It was the way the ship reacted to it. Metal groaned as if under immense pressure. Bolts screamed. The floor vibrated with each slow movement coming. From the darkness beyond the maintenance door. Then the lights died. Not flickered, died. Emergency red lights blinked on one by one, bathing the corridor in a dull, pulsing glow. And in that red light, something slid forward. It wasn't shaped like anything I knew. Too wide, too smooth, too deliberate. A surface like wet stone pressed against the doorway, forcing itself through inch by inch. Tubes, or limbs, dragged behind it, scraping metal with a sound that made my teeth hurt. Someone vomited. The elderly woman began to pray. "It's not blind," the strange man whispered. "That's the worst part." As if offended, the thing stopped moving. Then, it changed direction. The heartbeat sound shifted, syncing with the emergency lights. Thump, blink, thump, blink. A voice echoed through the corridor. Not from the intercom. From inside the walls. "You stayed." The words weren't spoken. They were felt, like pressure behind the eyes. One of the crew members screamed and ran. He made it 3 steps before the floor beneath him softened. Metal warped like flesh. Something rose beneath him. He vanished without blood, without sound, pulled down as if the ship itself had swallowed him. We backed away, trapped. What does it want? I shouted. The walls pulsed. "To listen," the voice replied. "To remember." The strange man fell to his knees. It learns from people, from ships, from voices. The captain's voice crackled through the intercom one last time. "If you can hear this." "I'm sorry," he said. "It imitates leadership, authority, calm." A wet sound echoed behind us. The creature had learned his voice. "Please remain calm," it said gently. "Everything is under control." The ship tilted sharply. We were no longer drifting. We were being taken somewhere. And then the voice spoke again, closer now. "You should have left when you were told." The emergency lights went out. Total darkness. Something brushed my leg. Warm. Alive. Part 4. In the darkness, time stopped meaning anything. I couldn't see my hands. I couldn't see the walls. I could only hear breathing, too slow to be human, moving somewhere near my feet. "Don't move," someone whispered. It was the elderly woman. Her voice was steady now, strangely calm. The red emergency lights flickered back on. What they revealed made my stomach twist. The corridor was no longer straight. The walls had curved inward, veins of pulsing metal spreading across the surface like arteries. The floor gently rose and fell beneath us, no longer solid, no longer a floor. The ship wasn't being damaged. It was being changed. "We are inside it," one of the passengers whispered. The strange man nodded slowly. "Not inside the ship," he said. "Inside it." A deep vibration rolled through the corridor, and suddenly memories flooded my mind. Voices, fragments, overlapping. Laughter, orders, screams, prayers. Not heard. Absorbed. "It doesn't eat bodies," the man continued, tears streaming down his face. "It feeds on patterns, on decisions, on command." The intercom clicked, but it wasn't the captain this time. It was all of us. Voices layered together, speaking in perfect unison. "This vessel is suitable." The ship lurched violently. We were thrown against the wall as a massive pressure built beneath us. Through a warped observation window, I saw the ocean, not outside us, but below, peeling away as if the ship was lifting itself out of the water. "It's not riding the ship anymore," I said in disbelief. The creature's voice answered from everywhere at once. "The ship is the shell." One by one, the remaining crew members backed away in terror. Then the creature spoke again, soft, curious. "Leadership requires a voice." The elderly woman stepped forward. "My husband was a captain," she said quietly. "He died at sea." The thing paused, listening. "You can take me," she said. "Just let the others go." The walls shuddered. A moment passed. Then the floor opened beneath her, gently this time. She didn't scream. The corridor reshaped itself instantly, smoother, calmer, satisfied. The voice spoke again, stronger now. "We are ready." The ship surged upward, not sinking, ascending. And that's when I realized the final truth. This wasn't a disaster. It was a launch. Part 5. The pressure vanished all at once. The ship stopped shaking. Silence fell, not peaceful, but complete. The kind of silence that feels intentional. The walls slowly hardened again, metal pulling itself back into familiar shapes. Emergency lights stabilized. The floor stopped breathing. Out of the 9 who stayed behind, only 3 of us remained. Me, the strange man, and a young woman who hadn't spoken since the first scream. The voice returned, clear now, focused, selection complete. "What are we?" I demanded. "Why didn't you take us?" The walls vibrated gently, like something thinking. "Witnesses," it replied. "Messengers." The strange man laughed weakly. "It needs stories," he said. "Proof it exists." A hatch above us opened. Real air rushed in, cold, sharp, human. We collapsed onto the deck as dawn broke across the ocean. Lifeboats drifted in the distance. Helicopters circled. From the outside, the ship looked normal. No damage. No growths. No signs of what had happened inside. Authorities questioned us for hours. They said the captain panicked, that the elderly woman jumped, that stress caused hallucinations. They recorded our statements, then sealed them, classified. Before we were released, a man in a dark suit pulled me aside. "You will never speak about what you experienced," he said calmly. "Not because we don't believe you." He leaned closer. but because it's still listening. That night, back on land, I lay awake in a quiet hotel room. At 1:42 a.m., my phone vibrated. No caller ID, just a voicemail. I didn't press play. I already knew the voice. And somewhere far out at sea, something massive moved, wearing the shape of a ship, carrying the memory of command, waiting for the next voice strong enough to teach it how to lead. I turned my phone face down, and I never boarded another ship again. The end.